Hey folks, Revolutionary Brewer here. As you can see in the background, we're in new digs here. We've downgraded the brewery to a little smaller quarters, but the homebrew reviews will go on. So today we're going to take a look at, this is the first one for me, a Mangrove Jack British Series beer. So this is going to be the Mangrove Jack. It's the wheat ale, I believe it is. Let me double check it here. Yeah, it's the Mangrove Jack British Series wheat beer. So brewed in a quart bottle, and we'll give it a pour. Let's see what we get out of this one. This hasn't been in the bottle too long. I think it's been in for roughly about 2 weeks, so it's still pretty fresh. So here's what we got. Nice light colored, not a huge head on it, but a solid head. And let's give it a taste and see what we got. Yeah, very much like a typical wheat beer. Very much like a typical wheat beer. So this is a very light beer, and it does have a really fruity flavor to it. It's almost like, let me try and see to pick that up. Yeah, very light fruity flavor to this beer. It's very light. I'll tell you actually how I made it. I went a little bit different than my usual recipe here. These Mangrove Jack British Series kits, they're 2.2 kilos, so they're bigger than your normal hopped can kit. So with that in mind, I went ahead and just added 3 pounds of the liquid malt glucose, the high malt glucose. And the reason I did that is I wanted to give it a little extra bitterness to this beer. I find if you use too much malt in these, it really doesn't have much bitterness or much dryness. So I added a little bit more sugar to this one to give it a little bit of a drier finish to it. And it does have a little bit drier finish. You can really taste it on the back end, that little crisp dryness. But it's actually a little bit, up front it's a little bit sweet, and it finishes with a little bit of a crispness, which is kind of weird for these wheat beers. Yeah, but all in all, not a bad beer. It's, you know, another standard Mangrove Jack kit. You're going to get a quality kit out of it. That's pretty much always standard with Mangrove Jack. So this one here, I'm going to give this, you know, solid 3.5 out of 5. It's, if you like this style of beer, a nice wheat beer, nice light beer, little hint of fruitiness, little hint of sweetness. If you want that little bit of dryness on the back end, go with the 3 pounds of malt glucose. If you don't really like the dryness, you can go ahead and do my usual recipe, which is 1.5 pounds of malt and 1.5 pounds of the sugar, the liquid glucose. But like I said, this is a solid beer. A solid beer. There's nothing wrong with that. No question at all. And it's still a little bit young. I got a feeling that the taste is going to change a little bit as it ages. But like I said, nothing wrong with this. So basically 3.5 out of 5. Now these kits are a little bit pricier than the normal kits. I think they retail locally for $25. The reason I purchased it, there was a sale on the Mangrove Jack kits. It was buy one get one half price. So basically, with the discount, this came out to about about $18 or something, which is pretty standard around here for a hopped can kit. They usually run about $18. So anyways, stay tuned. Coming up, we're going to have something really different. We're going to do a review of a brew house kit. It's kind of one of those beer in a bag sort of things. A buddy of mine gave me a one of those kits to give it a try, and it should be interesting. It's actually brewing right now, and it had a wild fermentation, went right through the airlock, just blew the top off and made a mess on the floor. We got that under control, and it should be ready to drink, I would say, within a month or so, but it's still got some fermenting to do. I think that'll be the next one up. We might have one in between, so stay tuned. Once again, Mangrove Jack, British Series Wheat Beer, solid 3.5 out of 5. Cheers, and keep on brewing, guys.